Hello, and welcome back to the mild madness that is my brain. I am now officially drinking cold water out of a kettle. That's not what I was endeavoring to say with this sentence when I started it, but that's where we're at now. I'm also officially on track to lose my mind. I think that's been official for a while, actually, for some time. Okay. Let me tell you what I was originally endeavoring to say when I began this sentence 2 sentences ago. That it is, as of today, the 27th of October. 27 October, that's 10 days later from the thing you last saw. And so that means that on the 17th, it was week 5. And today, it's the end of week 6. How's that 10 days later? 10 days is not 2 weeks. I always think of 10 days as 2 weeks. It's really not. So, we're at the end of week 6. So, it's been 10 days since I last saw you, which is apparently just like a week, mostly. So, officially, of this 8-week challenge, 8 weeks, 11 projects, 1 girl, we have 1.5 weeks left. I didn't count the 0.5. It's really 8.5 weeks, 11 projects, 1 girl. So we have 1.5 weeks left, folks, which is crazy because it feels like we have a lot left to film. Not in knitting, but in my work life. 1.5 weeks left, 11 projects. Let me update you on where we're at. This project is going out of the finished pile now. I have blocked it, so I'd like to show you how the Carpe Diem looks blocked. Oops. Belly button is here. It's oversized, it's cozy, it's exactly what I wanted, apart from one thing. I feel that the balance is off between here and here. If I show you this part of the jumper, it looks like one jumper. And if I show you this, it looks like a different jumper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate stitch this whole green section with fluff. And I think I'm planning to do it with like smaller pieces of fluff and just not worry too much about the ends. I think that's my plan. Either that or just tie it. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. But I'm going to duplicate stitch this. I duplicate stitched that. It was fine. I forgot to close my front door. One moment. I'm going to take this off now because I'm overheated. So, I'm really, really happy with how this blocked. When I blocked it, I was kind of terrified because a lot of that yarn is superwash. It's sock yarn. And I was just like, oh my God. My previous Lurkebagger jumpers have blocked really big, and I was like, it's so perfect as it is. I don't want to block it, but I really wanted to block it because the letters were like doing this, like they were crunching the fabric where I had put the letters on. You know what I'm just realizing? It would have been great if as I ticked off the items that I finished, I'd put like the date so I could tell you what I finished since the last time, but I can't do that. To be honest, though, I don't think I've finished anything since last time. I think I just have progress to show you. I don't think there was anything that I was, like, working on that has since been finished. I think it was in the same place. Oh, no, I'm wrong. There's one thing I finished. So, the one thing that I finished that is filled in on the thermometer is the socks for my friend. So I will show you how they've turned out. They've been blocked now. They seem to be slightly different sizes. Don't tell anyone, especially not her. I promise you, I counted the rows. This is why sometimes I just feel like, why bother? You know? Why bother being all, I'm doing everything right, when sometimes you do it right and it still doesn't work. So I think it's a blocking situation. That's what I think. I think I just blocked them differently. I didn't have sock blockers. I just kind of stretched them out and laid them on the back of the sofa. So that's what I think is going on, because, like, look, match up the toes, match up the heels, and we're at a vastly different length. So I just think, like, maybe one of these is... Listen, girls, I don't know, okay? I don't know. Just don't come for me. I honestly don't know. They're really, really soft. They're definitely just different sizes. Listen, they're just different sizes. Let's all move on, okay? Let's just all move on. Stretch that one out a little bit. Anyway, these are the ananas socks done at a crazy gauge, mostly holding 2 strands of yarn, around the instep holding 3 strands of yarn, and at the toe also holding 3 strands of yarn. Listen, don't ask me why. This kind of happened on vibes. We've got 2 different colors here, 4 colors happening in the mix here, and this is, I guess, 4 strands of yarn because it's color work. And then here we've got Arvetta with a hand-dyed yarn held triple, hand-dyed yarn held double, and then hand-dyed yarn held double plus another yarn. So a triple here. So I would call them probably worsted weight socks overall. I mean, here they're DK and here they're DK. Everywhere else they're basically worsted, and maybe also here they're DK. But yeah, they're big, cozy, super soft socks made from hand-dyed yarn from All You Need Is Love, and they're finished. So I'm gonna gift them to my friend, hopefully next week, hopefully before I leave, because they're pretty big babies. And yeah, I'd rather not take them home with me, only to bring them to her next time I see her. So that is finished. And then the 3 whips that I have, I can show you progress. So the first whip is my Calad crochet t-shirt, and I'm going to show you the side that was done when I came here, because I didn't show it to you the first time because I was being precious with the blocking. But I'm going to show it to you this time. So here it is. It's all sewn up. This is one side of the t-shirt. How cute is that? There's little buttonholes. And that just opens up like that. And the collar is here, I guess. No, this isn't the collar. That's the back. That's the back. This is the collar here. And then there's the buttons. So it's a little more cropped than that. So I'll show you the other side and how that's going. So yeah, this is the other side. We're still trundling along. Basically, once I've done, it looks like once you do 1, 2, 3 of these, so I'm on the 3rd one. Once I do this 3rd one, it looks like, is that right? 1, 2, 3, yeah. So I've done this is the 3rd one, then I'm gonna do some shaping, which is basically just like shorter rows, I think. I'm gonna do one bit of this and then I can do this part, which is exciting because it means it's like nearing some form of difference. It feels like it's a lot of just the same for a long, long time, and then it's like kind of quickly starts turning into something else. So, yeah, this is trundling along. I'm glad I got the other side out to have a look at it, because it's cute. So yeah, this is the back. You do basically these 3, and then this is when you cast off for the 4th. 4th one is just at the back, so this is totally just the back. So yeah. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting some more progress done on this piece, and it's still my driving whip. I'm gonna have quite a lot more driving this week because we're in 3 different locations. Where's my kettle? It's time for some more water. So that's the Calad shirt. We're having some progress. I did put like some markers on the Calad shirt just to feel like I could mark something off when I got to it. Where did I put those? Oh yeah, so here it is. This is like my overall fall knitting plans. So finished, finished, finished. This is the CalAd shirt. So I need to do the body, which I'm still working on, but getting closer to being finished. Then I've got 2 sleeves, so I can take those off as I go. I'm pretty doing well with my autumn plans, to be honest, and it's because of this 11 project vlog that I'm doing. So, okay, the next whip to show you is... Oh, which one do you want to see next? My Christmas socks or my cable jumper? I'll show you my cable jumper. So here it is. This is the Mange Flettegense by Rauma, and I think Petite Knit just released a pattern that's very similar to this one. There are a fair few patterns kind of in this vein. I did gauge swatching. I even wrote things down about my gauge swatch. And I've finally gotten this to where I think it's the length it needs to be for the body. And I feel like it's way smaller than I was expecting it to be. So it is time for me to join Team Mid-Project Block. I can show you a picture of this up against my Carpe Diem, which is an oversized jumper, and I was hoping for a similar fit with this one. It doesn't have negative ease. It doesn't have zero ease. It has ease, but it's not the amount of ease I was expecting. How much do cables block out? How much growth am I going to get? I don't know. And I'm sort of unsure how long to make it until I know how wide it's going to be, if that makes any sense. If it's going to be more body skimming, I probably will be happier with it a little more cropped. If it's going to be wider, I think I'll be happier with it longer. But I think long and kind of body skimming is not the one for me. So, yeah, I had just separated for body and sleeves. And I'd done 1 to 2 rows, I think, of the back panel. And I decided, you know what? I called my friend Kelly of Cocon Knits. And I was like, Kelly, and she's like, there's only one answer here. Do a mid-project block. And I am going away for 3 days, and my hotel room's going to be empty, so I can block it, lay it out for 3 days, come back, it'll be blocked, and I'll get to see what it looks like. I don't have pins, so I'm going to stretch it out, but I won't be able to pin it. I'll just stretch it out and lay it probably on the sofa, and see what happens. So that's the story with this. So far I've used exactly 4 balls of Rauma Fivel, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much. It's knit up amazingly fast. I'm really impressed with how fast it's knit up, and it's continuing to prove me right about how bottom-up jumpers are not terrible, people. Okay, they're not terrible. It's really nice. It's nice to be able to learn the cable pattern. I now have the cable pattern memorized because I didn't have to do any shaping when I was learning it. Just did it around and around. I did mess it up once there. See that little moment? That was right in the moment when I was memorizing the cable pattern. And that's where you see, oh, I did something wrong there. And that's when you really get it down. So yeah, it's a wonderful fabric. It's phenomenal. I just hope it's going to be a little bit more oversized once I block it. Here's the yarn again. Rauma Fivel. I don't know. I probably already showed it. This is all supposed to be one video. It's not like I'm doing multiple videos. I keep kind of treating this like they're multiple videos. I clearly don't know how to do a vlog. So that's that project. It's coming along, but it's going to have a pause now for the next 3 days. And the only other project I have is my Christmas socks for Holly. Everything else has been finished. So let me show you. Here's the Christmas socks. I mean, stop it, right? Stop. Stop. Turn around. Get out of the car. Put everything down. Stop it. How cute are these? How cute are these? There's the back. Another little moon. It's a double moon. We're in a special galaxy with 2 moons. Lots of mountains and multiple moons. And then there's this great heel. I love this pattern. It has a lot of attention to detail. This heel is phenomenal. It's really blowing out. There's a technique with this heel that makes it work so well with the color work. It's a paid for pattern, and I think it's well deserves that, so I don't want to like give anything away. But it's something I've never come across before for a heel, and I think it's genius for an all over colorwork sock. I think it's a great way of doing things. And then the gusset happens underneath the heel, so the stitch pattern on the sides is totally uninterrupted. I mean, can we not? I don't know what we cannot, I don't know, just leave me alone. And then here's the gusset. It looks like a little angel, a little scroll, a little grate. I don't know. Could be looked at as a Christmas tree. I think it looks like an angel. An angel of sock heel. It's so cute. This yarn is just, I'm living for it. This yarn combination. It's West Yorkshire Spinners, just like sock yarn in white, and then it's a Malabrigo yarn. I think it's called Wales Road is the colorway, and it's the Malabrigo sock yarn. I think it's Rios maybe. I could be wrong. I got this on eBay for cheap, I think £4 maybe. It was already balled up by whoever was selling it, so I got it a long time ago. So I'm obsessed with these socks. However, I do now have this pattern memorized, but it's obviously not a completely mindless knit. And I went for a walk, which is one of my favorite things to do while knitting, go for a little walk. And I didn't find it very refreshing with these socks on the needles because, it's color work. It's easy color work, but I have to look at it. And I also, even when I don't have to look at it, because once I have the rhythm of the row, it's not a very big repeat. I think 8 to 10 row repeat or something. But the stitch repeat is very repetitive. I think it's only 6 stitches wide, the stitch repeat. So each row you kind of get the stitch repeat, and you can not look. At least I cannot look for the rest of the row, and then I have to look down to the next row, see what the next stitch repeat should be, and do that. But as I'm walking and not looking and doing the row, I'm not enjoying my walk because I'm still going 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, or whatever it is. And so I can easily walk and do it. It's not like it's not doable. It's just that it defeats the going for a walk because I didn't feel oh, nice, I went for a walk. I just felt whatever. So it didn't clear the head like normally knitting and walking does. And of course, I could just go for a walk, not knit. 100% valid and true. But I did, when Holly came to visit last weekend, have her bring me a backup project. And it's not that I don't have enough scrap yarn to start a different project. I have scrap yarn. It's just that I thought, if I'm going to do another project, why not do one of the ones in my queue? So I had Holly do that. So she brought me my New Life. This is New Life wool. I really love this wool. It's a Danish wool, I think. It's from Hjertegarn, and it's 100% recycled, 65% recycled wool, 35% recycled mixed fibers, 200 meters for 100 grams. And the yarn's made from 100% old sweaters collected at recycling stations. No chemicals or dyes have been used. So basically, I think they just sort the jumpers and recycle them, turn them into wool. So the wool feels very much like a woolen spun type of wool. I don't know if it is woolen spun, but it kind of makes sense if the fibers are from a jumper, they're all mixed up, right? So I really love it. I made Holly a pair of fingerless mitts last year with a green one of these, and we got this at All You Knit Is Love to make her a hat. And I also just recently got a sweater's quantity of this to make one of the other patterns from the Rauma pattern book. And yeah, I really like this yarn. So this is going to become, I think, a hipster hat by Petite Knit for Holly. And I think I'm going to start it now because I have no projects that are mindless. I have the crochet project, I have a cabled project, and I have colorwork socks. So that wasn't thought out perfectly, but that's fine. And that's why we have the backup. So let's see. I think I'm gonna go for a walk while it still is sunny, and I'm actually just gonna ball this up while I walk. And I think that's gonna be a nice mindless task to do. I know I will look mildly insane, but when do I not, right? Am I right? Am I right? Let me have my last cup of electrolytes and tell you about my plans for the future. I think when I get home in about a week and a half, I'm gonna sit down and do a video where I talk about my plans. I think 8 weeks has been a really great amount of time, 8.5, to plan out like I'm going away, here's my projects, amount of projects. And I think what I'm going to try and do, let's see how it goes, is project plan like that again. Because I've really, really enjoyed it, and I've really found it fulfilling and fun, and something like, I found there's enough leeway in 8 weeks worth of projects that I can still flit around between projects as I'm feeling like it. Which is an important part of this hobby for me, but also having a set of plans that I'm really excited to do makes it really easy for me to like avoid buying yarn, because a lot of times when I buy yarn I want to immediately make something, and so it's nice to sort of, there's a different thing stopping me from buying yarn. That's not just, I don't want to buy yarn. It's like, no, I have my plans for this 8 weeks and I don't want to interrupt them because then I won't be able to see if I can complete my plans for the 8 weeks. If the purpose is like, interesting, did I plan the right amount? Which was the purpose of this vlog. Interesting, did I plan the right amount of projects? I don't want to basically like mess up the data by starting a random project in the middle. I don't consider this to be messing up the data because I basically just found, I was gonna treat my Christmas socks as like my boring project, portable one, but I'm like, no, all bets are off if it's actually like making an experience less enjoyable for me. That's not the point of this hobby. So if going for a walk isn't going to be fun because I don't have a project that makes it nice, then we'll change the rules, The other reason I don't think this is like a side track is because I have all the projects I brought with me cast on and in the middle of being worked on. So, like well underway actually. So it'll be interesting. I won't be able to necessarily see if I can finish all of these projects. I don't think I will finish all of these 11 projects. But to be fair, the question wasn't, can I finish them all? The question was, did I bring the correct amount of projects? And since seeing as I am about to cast on a new project, I think we can definitively answer that question with a yes. I did bring the right amount of projects. Now, potentially as this week goes in, it'll turn into a no, I didn't because I didn't bring enough. But I think that's not going to happen. Or I guess you could say we've already answered it with no because I'm doing a new project now. But you could also argue that it wasn't the number of projects, it was like the order I did them in that wasn't quite right, Whatever. I'm picking thingies. Anyway, for the next 3 days I'll just bring my my crochet and my socks and my cable will be drying. And I will also bring this and my Carpe Diem, and I will do some duplicate stitch to change the color story of the yoke. That's my plan for this week, and I'm now gonna go for a little walk and ball up this yarn, because I think that'll be a really nice, relaxing, enjoyable thing to do. I need to do a little bit more physical activity, so I'm gonna go for a walk, and then I'm gonna go for a little swim in the pool here, and then I'm going to have a shower, get myself all reset, and pack. I think that's my plan. I might go for a walk and then pack and then do the swimming and showering. Yeah, I think that sounds better. This is thrilling content for you, I'm 100% certain. So I'm glad you got to enjoy that. I will speak to you soon. I'll check in before I leave Spain to show you how I ended up. And yeah. I think if I finish Holly's hat before going home, which I hope not to, I might cast on something else simple, like a pair of socks for the flight home. But again, I might not. I might just like bring the crochet, because I imagine the crochet won't be finished. Anyway, that's all. I'm gonna go for my walk and do my things, and finished my electrolytes. I know you were thinking about that and wondering about it, so don't worry, I got you covered. Keeping you updated on all the important news in my world. Electrolytes are finished. Okay, love you, bye. Hello. I think I have done a recent update for you. The 27th, that was 4 days ago? Yeah. So that was week 6, I guess. So the newest update is that I haven't had any progress on my crochet tee, I don't think. However, we have one finished Christmas sock. Absolutely 10 out of 10. Love this pattern. I did one tiny modification. The pattern has you just kind of stop when you go to the toe, so it would just be kind of just a straight like break. There's not really much of a transition between the tree section and the... Also, I think I messed up here, partly. Like, I messed up the pattern a little bit. But there's not, like, a huge transition between the trees and these stars. But at the bottom, I think the pattern... It doesn't really say super clearly, but I think it just has you just, like, stop and do the toe. But I wanted it to kind of, like, transition into the toe. So I did this... this little thing, basically, where instead of, like, continuing the pattern and then cutting it off halfway... I sort of stopped adding the pattern in and added white in instead, if that makes sense, because the pattern is obviously a series of diamonds. So that's the only modification I made to this, and I may have modified the toe ever so slightly because I just messed it up and forgot to change my decreases. And the pattern has you do a gathered toe. I did a Kitchener toe. It does say you can do that as well. So that's it. I think it might be a tiny bit big, but last year's colorwork socks that I made for Holly for Christmas. If you don't know, I make a pair of colorwork socks for my wife as Christmas socks every year. They're not like a Christmas present. They're just like a Christmas celebration in a sock that I give to her. And last year's ended up too small, and I got really frustrated with them. They wouldn't even really go over my feet. So I ended up frogging those, and I made some Christmas trees out of them this year. And I did still make her Christmas socks, but they were not colorwork socks. They were just a pair of like green festive socks. It was a pattern called Endurance Socks, which is meant to be for hiking, and we do a lot of hiking. So they were still great socks, well received, but they were not the Christmas colorwork socks. So this year I made sure to start them super early so I wasn't rushing, and I made sure to I made the size large. This sock is great also because it has a lot of sizes. It's got 4 sizes, I think, and they're all charted. So I did this, it's the size large, and I think they turned out great. I'm really, really happy with them. Little moon and the mountains and then the stars, they're everything. And I think my yarn choice was amazing. Malabrigo, it's like a variegated yarn with this beautiful white. I'm just so pleased. So I have cast on the second sock. I have it right here. Just finished the cuff, and I'll start the color work on my walk to work today. My walk to work usually gives me, it's only like the 15-minute walk. It gives me about 10 rounds. No, it gives me like 3 rounds. So it's not very fast, but that's okay. What I'm wearing today is, I've just spent a bit of time on this. I have over stitched this whole stripe of green because it was really bothering me. I feel like now the jumper is more balanced, and I had more of the fluff. So I just did duplicate stitch like I did for the letters, and I did that around this whole stripe. I knew when I was making this that there needed to be more white. I had just run out of any white sock yarn, and I was worried about using just the plain alpaca because it's kind of light. It's too heavy to be held double, and it's too light to be held single with so much weight. I should have just held it double and had it be slightly thicker, because now it's still slightly thicker because there's 3 strands here, but anyway, it's done now. Done. And the update on this is that I'm working on the back panel. I'm a little bit concerned that it's not quite long enough. It is about 8 centimeters shorter than the pattern says, the body. I had to block it out because I was worried it was too narrow. And when I blocked it, it is the perfect oversized fit. However, it's a little bit short maybe. But I did compare it to this jumper, and it's basically the same length, the body, as this jumper. So maybe it'll be okay. Anyway, I'm working on the back panel. I have 1 more of these X's and then a half to go. And then I'll start on the fronts. This 8 weeks thing I have enjoyed thoroughly. And so I've decided to try and do it again when I get home, as if I'm packing for a trip, but I'm not on a trip. So what I might do is I might sort of like change where my yarn is being stored and have the projects all in kind of like, or the yarn and the projects all in kind of one of my bins. And that's kind of like my packing for the 8 weeks. That could be kind of fun. But I have made a plan, and I'm gonna show it to you right now. I started by just brainstorming. That's why these are in kind of like a random order. All the different things I've been wanting to make. And then I basically went, you know what I had on this trip was perfect. So I had 3 hats, 4 socks, 2 smaller garments, and 2 larger garments. And that seemed kind of like the perfect variety amount. And so I wrote that down on the side, and I color coded it, and I decided, let's find, out of this big list of stuff that I'd like to make, let's find those items and pack them, quote unquote. So I want to share with you my plans. So for Barcelona, I want to make a pair of socks from 52 Weeks of Socks. Special ones that say BCN 2024. Super cute. Me and Kiliana are going to make them. So that's a pair of socks. And then I actually don't have any more socks in my plans around Christmas because I have other plans. So this, oh, by the way, this is going to be from when I get home on November 10th until December 31st. However, I just got this idea to make. Holly and I are big on advent calendars because I'm obsessed with Christmas. And she always gets me a couple advents, and I get her a couple advents. However, in the past years, I've kind of made her advents because I like to get her Lego advents, and there just don't exist that many. There's plenty of Lego projects out there. So what I did last year, which didn't work entirely, but was almost perfect, was that I got a random Lego project thing that Holly would like, and I just split it up into 24 small bags. And I cut the instructions and put it in an advent box that I had bought, like a fill your own advent box. However, the like holders of the box were not perfect, and so some of the Legos like went from one day to another because it was like not perfectly. Does that make any sense? Basically, the Legos leaked out of the advent box, and I saw Florence's podcast. Florence, I'm not sure, I just started watching it. She made a fish pouch, and Holly would absolutely love the fish pouch. She loves fish, and it's just a really cool thing. So I'm gonna see. I'm not gonna do this if I don't like it, but I'm gonna see about making 24 fish pouches for Advent and filling these fish pouches with Lego for her Advent calendar, and then I can reuse it every year. If they're too fiddly and too annoying, I'm not going to do it. However, I think they might not be. They're done flat and then crochet seamed up. I can see that being easy because my Christmas trees that I've been obsessed with are also done just kind of flat with decreases, and I really enjoy them. They're really fun, really satisfying. So basically, if I want to make these Advent fish, I kind of need to start making about 2 a day, which if they're simple and easy, should be fine. But let's see. I think it's a little late to start making them because I have to have them done by, the end of November. But anyway, I'm putting that down along with a few more Christmas trees. I'm putting those things down as another pair of socks. And then 2 more things are classified as my sock projects. I'm going to make a scarf for my sister's boyfriend, and I'm going to finish a whip, which I've had since last winter, which is a hood. So that's my 4 sock patterns. The Barcelona socks and the Advent fish needs to be done before the end of November. The cashmere hood and the scarf, the cashmere hood has no end date, so that's going to be at the end. And then the scarf needs to be done before Christmas. Potentially, actually, it needs to be done in November because I'm going to be going to see my sister at Thanksgiving. So that would be the time to give it to her, actually. Yes. So these are kind of like, let's go. Items. Then I have 3 hat projects allotted to me in my quota. And I've chosen a hat for Holly, which I already have cast on here. It's my backup in case I finish everything. There's a new hat by Lily called the checker plate hat, which I'm going to be making. I think I'll probably be my project to work on in Barcelona, along with the fish if I like them. And then there's a pair of sleeves I need to reknit on a jumper. I have a jumper with balloon sleeves, and I've cut one of them already, and I'm now reknitting it to just be tapered. So I've started one of them. I need to do the other one. I need to finish the one and do the other. So those are the 3 sort of hat projects. And then I've got 2 small projects. Those are going to be my Advent projects. So those are going to be after November is finished. A lot of this stuff is either totally like just do whenever I feel like. So either the stuff is like I need to get it done before December starts, or the stuff is like this is going to be after Christmas projects. So like the sleeves and stuff, the cashmere hood, the hood I have after Christmas. And And then during Christmas, during December, I'm going to be working on my Gnome Along, which I always love to do, and an Advent project with my Advent calendar, which Holly's like, don't assume you're going to get it. I'm going to get it, I hope. And then my two big jumpers that I'm going to work on are the Daisy cardigan by, I can't remember, Denke, I think. And then that I got yarn for in Barcelona, so I'm going to cast that on at some point. And then the 1703 jumper by Lily, I'm making a Lurkebagger style version. So that's my plans for until the new year. And then the next 2 months are going to be a Finish It February New Year combo. So those 11 projects will be a lot of whips probably. So anyway, this is my new thing. It's kind of all over the place. I've put boxes by the ones that like need to get finished and no boxes by the ones that are just like do whenever. And then here's my little thermometer. So I'm excited for next when I get back. But I'm still having a lot of fun with the projects that I have here. So yeah, I'll check back in before I leave Spain to show you what I ended up being able to do. Until then, I'll see you later. Hello team! So it's the final day of my 8.5-week challenge. I have, I'm gonna get on a flight tonight. I'm in a new place because we moved hotels. And I wanted to give you the final update. So my challenge was to do 11 projects in 8.5 weeks. The real challenge was, did I bring the right amount of projects? We've answered the question, but the curiosity follow-up is, what did I finish? Well, I finished 8 projects out of the 11, but I did cast on all 3 of the remaining projects, and I will show you where I'm at with those 3 projects. So the first one is probably the most boring one. I still haven't finished the body of my crochet tee, but here's the progress on it. It's a slow project, it's always been, but I'm hoping to have this finished this month to where, actually in a week I'm hoping to finish it. Oh god. Did not realize that was that close. I gotta get going. So this is gonna be my airplane project for sure. Hoping to finish the body today then maybe. And then it's just sleeves to go. I can do that easily. Because it's already kind of like oversized. It's fine, guys. So that's the Calad shirt. Didn't quite finish the body on it. The socks for Holly. I'm going to be honest, the other one is packed, but I've finished one of her Christmas socks, and this is the progress I've made on her second Christmas sock. There's more colorwork mistakes in this sock than I think the first sock, so that's fun. It's actually, I think the lighting is better here, so you can kind of see the colors better. I mean, it's just, I can't get over how gorgeous. The fabric feels amazing too. It's really squishy. Yeah. And there's my floats. The repeat in this section, I caught my floats up here. I tend to catch my floats if there's more than 3 stitches. So up here, I was catching floats, so the inside doesn't look quite as even and pretty because of all that float catching. But on this part, there's never more than 3 stitches, so I'm not catching floats. So it looks more pretty and even. Yeah, absolutely love this pattern. Absolutely obsessed. I hope they fit her really, really well. Anyway, can't stop looking at these because I love them. So yeah, that project isn't finished. And then finally, I I love that I'm like pronouncing it as if I know how to pronounce it. I don't, but I'm just giving it a go, you know? Just give it a go. Who knows? You might hit gold. My manga flötegense. I have no idea. I was that kid in your language class when you were in school who was trying with the pronunciation. The one kid, you know? That kid. Nobody tries because they gotta look cool. So everyone's like, hola, que tal? Or like, bonjour, madame. But I was the one that was like, bonjour. I finished the back panel, obviously. I finished the front. And I've connected one of the shoulders. And I'm just working on the second front panel. I'm pleased with this. It's not too bad, the connection here. I wasn't sure about this, if it should be like, it would be better to twist it before connecting, but who knows? Maybe it would have been best to like not have quite so much on both of these, but I think it looks just fine. It's always tricky with cables. So yeah, this is the body, pretty much done, and then I think this is probably going to have a little bit of a rest, but the sleeves are done bottom up, so I won't have to haul this around and knit sleeves onto the jumper, which I love. I don't mind seaming. Let's be real together here for a moment. I don't mind seaming. It doesn't take all that long. It's quite satisfying when you get going, like, oh, look how good that looks. And to be able to not have to knit sleeves on an entire jumper, it's worth that moment of seaming, I think. Well worth it. Well worth it. Because knitting a sleeve on its own, dreamy. Dreamy. So that's where we got. I thought I would also update you with my stash. So I'm going to re-record that in case we don't want the boring version. We might want it. We might. But in case we don't, to update you on my stash, I started out the 8-week trip with 177 balls of yarn. I used up 17 balls of yarn while I was on this trip. Go me. I did acquire some yarn, and I did give a little bit of yarn away to people that I was teaching to knit. So overall, my stash reduced by 16 balls of yarn. Yeah. So now I'm down to 161 balls of yarn. And I'm hoping to, well, it's going to be hard because Christmas is coming. I'm going to Barcelona Knits. I'm going to be acquiring yarn. So I probably won't be stashing down that much more. We might get up to a net that's nearer to 200 again. But let's just see what happens. Anyway, that's my update. I will add this and put it out. Thank you so much for joining me on this 8-week adventure, and I'm excited to start up another one next week. Okay, see you later.